Hi guys, I guess this is my new channel. My name's Adam. I plan to use this channel for sort of tracking my progress in trying to do the Mount Anne track in Tasmania. Bit of background about me: I've always loved outdoors, hiking, that sort of thing. I've got a lot of hiking gear that I definitely should be using more. And so, in order to try and get me to do that, I've decided to document sort of my journey along the way. I'm 44, 117 kilos, so definitely have a lot of weight to lose, and it's been difficult for me to do that. I'm a kidney transplant patient. I have polycystic kidney disease, and about 3.5 years ago, I had my left kidney replaced. So after being sick for a long time and losing a lot of fitness and a lot of strength, I keep trying to get back sort of to where I was, and this is the way I've decided to do it. So I guess I don't know how regularly I'll post. Exactly what the sort of content will be. I do have a hike coming up, doing some of the South Coast track down in the bottom of Tasmania. So I'll be preparing for that, getting my gear ready, and then I guess I'll share how that goes. I'm definitely not doing the whole track. The plan is to hike out and camp, and then do a day trip out and back from the camp. Come back, camp the second night, and then hike back out to the car on day 3. So nothing big, but a good excuse to use my gear and sort of get out there and do a bit more. What else should I sort of go through? Some of the I use Garmin gear for a lot of my stuff. Actually, I'll just share a good story. I had a second-hand Garmin InReach Mini 2. It broke and was unrepairable. I'd emailed Garmin about switching my subscription to another Garmin device, and they actually called me up really quickly and said that they would be happy to do a return where I could return my device that, as I said, was secondhand and relatively old, and they would send me out a refurb of the same model for cost price, which was about 200 Australian dollars. So I'm really happy with that. It saved me having to go and buy another new one, or a secondhand one that potentially has sort of battery issues given the age of the twos at the moment, or at least most of the secondhand ones anyway. So yeah, really happy with that. I've got a Phoenix 7 watch that I love, and I've got a few other bits and pieces in the Garmin environment that I also really like, for things like tracking blood pressure and weight and stuff like that. So yeah, really like Garmin. That's what I'll be using for my mapping when I go on the walk, and I use my watch for tracking when I do walks. Sort of I try and get semi-daily walks in. I've got a 2-year-old daughter, so I do that at night after she's gone to bed, and get a few Ks in at night. And that's been working fairly well for me. I guess next video I'll try and show some of my gear, and maybe go over the plans of where I'll be walking. I do plan to also do, I've got a mate visiting in September, so that's when I'll be doing the walk down the South Coast track, but we'll probably also go up Mount Anne to the Lookout. I've done that once. It absolutely ruined me, but we'll probably go and do that again, and see how that goes, and I'll update you guys on that. But yeah, the plan is to get fit enough to do the Mount Anne track, sort of all the way through. It looks, very steep, and sort of very challenging. And I guess, we were looking at doing the Port Davey track, but that looks even worse. So I'm not doing that at the moment, but I'll keep that as something to do at some point. But yeah, I guess that's it. It's I'm definitely not a professional at doing these videos. I'm definitely not a full-time hiker or anything like that, but I'm happy with what I've got and what I do, and I just need to do more of it and try and lose a bunch of weight and get fitter and stronger, predominantly so that I can be a more active dad to my little girl. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone, and I guess I'll post another video soon. Thanks.